All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? Listen, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, and coming on back. I do appreciate it. Get this podcast wherever you get all your other podcasts from: Spotify, Apple, Podbean, Anchor, where it's housed. And of course, if you want to go over to YouTube, you get to see my new hat, which was given to me by the lovely Colleen Carpenter, who is a fan, dare I say friend, came down to watch me at the Orlando Improv last week and bought me this lovely hat. And it says, if you can't see it, it says, "Wash your hands, you dirty fuckers." And people have been on my back about, get merch, you need merchandise. People want to wear. I didn't know what to do. Maybe this is the way forward. So thank you, Colleen. Also, this episode is going to probably upset a lot of you. So if you don't want to feel upset, then you know what? Just fucking get off the phone. Get off it now. Just hang it up. Stop listening, because this is going a little... I took notes for this one like a real journalist. This is how much this annoyed me. So first of all, let me address it. I didn't have an episode up last week. I was going to say sorry, but I'm not. Because I got a lot of messages during the week. Where's the episode? Where's the episode? You didn't put the episode up. We need to laugh now more than ever was the message. I didn't put it up. I didn't do an episode. I was exhausted, and I went to do one, and I just had been in a rabbit hole of what had happened in Nashville at the school shootings, and I got down, and I just figured I didn't want to talk about anything. Really, I just didn't find anything funny. I didn't, what I'm going to do, go online and say the same things everybody else is saying, thoughts and prayers, and it's heartbreaking. And usually what I do is when I hear this heartbreaking news, I either, instead of absorbing the pain and the feeling of it, I just turn it into jokes, like use it as a shield to deflect it. It's not a healthy option to do that. I know that, because I end up upsetting a lot of people in my life when I crack jokes at inappropriate moments. Or I could just choose to just kind of, sit in the feeling. I just didn't feel good. Because comics, people were saying to me, we need you now more than ever. We need laughter now more than ever. And sometimes we don't, right? That's the thing about comics. Don't ever tell a comic that. Because a lot of comedians are like arrogant and self-righteous pieces of shit. Like they will come out to you and like, I've been after shows and people come to me, "Hey man, I needed that laugh." And I understand that. I understand that element. I understand that concept because I've been there, right? You've just had a shitty week and everything is down and you're not really depressed, but you're just like, fuck man, what a shitty week. And then you sit down with one of your pals and they make you laugh, or you saw a fucking good movie. You go, "Man, I needed that laugh." But some comics hear that and they go, you know what? I'd save that person's life. I've been around them, man. Don't do that to comics. Tell them you needed a laugh, that's fine. But don't come up and go, comics get way too much credit. They really do. They're like, "Oh, we need comedy. We need people like you. You guys are the best medicine." No, we're not. Medicine is the best medicine for whatever's going on. You know what I mean? Like, comics will do that. Like, I am like Jesus. I kind of am like Jesus. Doctors, nurses, fire department, not the volunteer ones. And I'm not firemen in small towns either. Come on, let's be honest. What are you guys doing? Oh, there's a cat in the tree. Let me get it for you. Oh, there's a pothole on Dame Street. Let me put some traffic cones and direct the people around it. I'm only joking. I'm not having a go, fireman. But there are people out there that are real heroes and do really meaningful jobs. And don't ever tell a comic that they're so important and needed in this world. All right, because all we are is people with our own messed up problems who want attention. That's what we are. That's what comics are. But anyway, so and I just got back from Nashville too. A week before. I think a week before it happened, right? And I'm going back to Nashville again next week. Speaking of going to places, I am in not September. What the fuck is wrong with you? In 2 weeks where did I wrote it down? I wrote it down, didn't I? Yeah. On the 15th of April, 2 weeks, a week and a half away, I am at the Trolley Theatre in South Carolina in Charleston. 2 shows at that theatre, and also just announced on July 22nd, Arizona. I'm coming to the Nile Theatre. I cannot wait to go to the Nile Theatre, Arizona. Also 2 shows. And then on September 1st and 2nd, Kansas City. Anyway, enough shameless plugs. I'm back to the boo-hoos. I'm going back to Nashville, and I can't wait to go back to Nashville. I like it, and it's. But I just don't think that, when people say that about comics, it just so you know, and other comics probably listen to this and go, Mick, fuck you. You know, we are heroes. No, we're not. Doctors and heroes are heroes. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Anyway, so like I said, this episode, and I'll come back to talk about the Nashville thing. I will kind of give you my thoughts on it at the end of this episode. Trust me, it ain't a teaser. Oh, he's going to give us a teaser on his deep thoughts. They're not deep thoughts. They're just the ramblings of a fucking idiot. Hey, so here's what I found this week, and it kind of stayed with me. I couldn't shake it, right, because I should have taken a piss before this episode started. I kind of feel it now. You know what I mean? I feel it, which kind of sucks. So here's what's happening. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about it. The media are not covering this whatsoever. And again, I start this episode off on what I will say. What I will say about this episode, I'm not a politician guy. I'm not a politics guy. I do not lean right. I do not lean left. I just say what's kind. I like kindness and common sense. That's all I want out of this world. Kindness and common sense. I don't care what comes out of the right. I don't care what beliefs come out of the left. If it's not kindness and if it's not fucking common sense, I don't want any of it. So this episode will not be me shitting on one side over the other. It'll just seem like that. All right? So let's get into that. I don't want people to go, oh, you're one of those guys now. Say what you like, listen, don't listen, unfollow, do what you like. But I'm about to tell you some actual facts on this episode. And I'll try and make some of it funny. So here's what nobody's talking about, right? Nobody's talking about this in the media whatsoever. Here's what we're talking about in the media. We're talking about Donald Trump getting indicted. And I'll get into that in a minute too. More teasers, Mick. So again, what nobody's talking about is the end of the US dollar, which is going to happen any day now. It's going to fucking happen. Dollars are not going to be worth shit anymore. Your money that you have in your bank account is gone. It's going to be no good, right? No cash. I went to BJ's last night. For those of you who don't know what that is in America, it's a store like Costco. I think they're owned by Costco. So I go there last night. I had a gig on Long Island. I was lucky. I'm driving home. I usually go to BJ's on a Sunday. You know what? Let me go tonight. I'm driving past it. It's 9 o'clock. I got an hour. I walk in and all the registers, right? There's usually 15 registers that you do self-checkout at. None of them are taking cash. There's a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, the big ones, the big corporations, they're not taking cash anymore. Everything is digital. Swipe your card. Apple Pay, right? There is no more cash. It's hard, I'm telling you. I had to go to a teller because I had a bunch of cash. I got paid in cash. Sorry, IRS. I got paid in cash for this gig. So I said, fuck it, let me just pay cash now as opposed to the debit card. Because I hate having cash anyway, so this whole new world suits me fine, but there is no more cash to be had anywhere. You can't get it. Why is this happening? Are these companies not letting us use cash? I'll tell you why, right? So when you go to pretty soon the dollar is going to be down so low, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment, why the dollar is going to be so low that you are going to have the inflation is going to go through the fucking roof, and it's kind of scary. You're going to have to go to pay for bread with a wheelbarrow full of cash. Right? When you go to a strip club now, you will not be throwing singles at a stripper anymore. They're going to be so broke that singles won't mean shit to them. You're going to have to just bring them stuff from home, like appliances. You want a new toaster? There you go, cinnamon. Poof. Sorry about that. You're going to be just hurling fucking all vacuum cleaners, toasters, microwaves at these strippers because they don't want your money anymore. Times are going to get fucking tough, lads. Why is times getting tough, Mick? You're supposed to be a comedy show. Tell us why your time's getting tough. Well, we ain't talking about it, but what's going on in the rest of the world, not in America, not about let's indict Trump, who fucked a porn star and paid for it, right? Who cares? Who gives a shit about what he did with Stormy Daniels? I'll be honest with you, when I moved to America first, there was no internet as vast as it was, and for the first and only time, I paid for porn. What did I pay for? Stormy Daniels' Greatest Hits, and that ain't a lie. I went all the way to New York City, I went into this fucking creepy, sleazy DVD store, and I bought Stormy Daniels' Greatest Hits. I gave it to a friend of mine who's actually running for office, which is very fucking funny. I won't mention his name, but he did comedy for a while. And then he didn't stick with it like I did, and he went off, and now he's like a local politician about to move up in the ranks. Can't tell you his name because that'll get in trouble. I gave him my DVD. Hey, listen, future politician, give me my fucking Stormy Daniels DVD back, please. Anyway, who cares? That's what he did. That's all he did, and that's all the news has been talking about all week. He paid for a fucking whore. That's it. He paid for a prostitute. And it was proven that it wasn't even out of fucking government funds. It was proven it was out of his own pocket. And they go, well, it was hush money. Doesn't matter, you still pay for it. You're still paying for it, hush money. It doesn't matter if it's hush money, that means you still paid for fucking sex. Whatever, that's not my business. Not my business whatsoever. So what we're not talking about is Xi Jinping, the president of, or prime, whatever you call him, the president of China, and Putin got together this week in Moscow, right? Why are they getting together in Moscow, Mick? Well, here's what the media didn't tell you. They signed 14 different documents, right? And one of those documents was about trade and currency. What does that mean, right? Again, the media didn't talk about it. The media didn't talk about the death of the fucking dollar. Right, here's what the media sucks to me, right? And a comedian, I posted something this week about a comedian. I can't remember his name. I wish I wrote it down. Apologies to that comedian if you see this episode. I'm not going to steal your joke, but I'm going to talk about the premise that you did. He did a great joke, by the way. If I think of his name before this episode's out, I'll mention it. But he did a great joke about how the media are actors. And how do we know they're actors? Because they're in movies. Right? Anderson Cooper is in movies playing Anderson Cooper, delivering this devastating news. This will tell you everything you need to know. I'm not doing his joke. I'm talking about the premise. They're all fucking actors. Right? So here's what they've been talking about. It is the death of the dollar. Right? So they're not mentioning about it. So what happened is, so here's what also happened this week. Saudi Arabia and Iran, two countries who've been hating each other since the dawn of goats. Since goats have been able to fucking walk, Saudi Arabia and Iran have always hated each other. No sign of peace ever. What happened this week? Nobody talked about it. China has brokered a peace treaty. China has brokered a peace treaty between these two fucking countries that hated each other. So now you got these guys on their side, right? You got China, Russia, you got Saudi Arabia, you got Iran. So what do you have? This is now becoming, so now Saudi Arabia are now settling their oil debt. Settling their oil debt in the Chinese yuan, right? Which is in that their currency. It used to be the yen. Why isn't that yen? I'm going to call it yen, not the US dollars. So you used to trade, oil was always traded in US dollars from these countries where the oil comes from. They used to be able to trade them in US dollars. Now it's not. Now it's fucking Chinese. Oh, it's the Japanese yen. Yeah, that's racist. Make to assume the Chinese and Japanese people are the same. So it's the Chinese yuan, whatever. Fuck it. I'm messing up. And I am sorry for China if I just mispronounce your thing. People say euros about Europe. It's not euros, it's euro. The plural to euro is euro. Stop saying, how many euros is that? You sound like a fucking moron. Anyway, so I don't feel bad about messing up the Chinese currency. So now, oil will now be traded in the fucking Chinese currency, which is well, I'm going to call yuan. W-A-N is yuan. So now you're going to be trading in yuan, not US dollars. So now what happens? The US have no more bargaining tools with the rest of the world. They can't call up a country and go, oh yeah, you're acting the dickhead, are you? Guess what? We're raising the price of your barrels up now because you got to buy it in US dollars. No, they don't. Now they can go fucking deal with China. So therefore the US dollar means fuck all. What else is happening with that too? Also, South Arabia, Iran, and Mexico have now joined BRIC. What is BRIC, Mick? Isn't that the guy from Anchorman? No, I like lamp. No, BRIC is Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and South Africa. They're now all teaming up together to change the fucking way the currency works in the world. Right? So now what's happening? Now this week, again, what a fucking week. Again, what a week. US have now gone to start bombing fucking Mexico. We're going to Mexico. Why are you going to war with Mexico? Drug cartels in it. We're going to bomb all their labs, they said. We're going to bomb all the cartels' labs. You would think that would be a good thing. We're going to Mexico, right? If I was living in Mexico, right? If I'm the president of Mexico, and I can't control these fucking the cartel. I can't keep my eye on them. I don't know what I'm doing. These guys are out there fucking bombing. They're killing, cutting off people's heads. Drug trafficking. Everything is going to stay. If only somebody would come and help me. And all of a sudden the US are going to fly in. Guess what? We got your back, Mexico. We're going to blow up all the drug labs. No. The fucking Mexican president was, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking idiots? What are you doing? He called Joe Biden an idiot. He called the president of Mexico, called Joe Biden an idiot, because why are you fucking coming down here to bomb us? Because you don't want us fucking joining BRIC. That's what it is, right? So now, and because of that, so if they all team up together, right? And again, this is me reading, so I do apologize. If they all team up together, right, that means nobody is going to be ever dealing with the US dollar. Instead, they will be dealing now with oil and gold. Another thing that happened this week, I'm not kidding, fucking look all this shit up. What happened is now all the gold is gone. Gold has been bought up by everybody. The price of gold has gone through the roof. You can't get gold anywhere. Now everybody is out. And the gold mining companies are like, we got no more gold. We shut down. Gold mining companies are shut down because they're out of gold. They can't get gold anywhere because it's all being bought up by these other fucking countries. All these other countries bought it up. So here's what I'm suggesting. Here's what I'm suggesting to save this problem, America. We only have some chat. We've only got a small window where we can actually save this and be in a better place. I am going to personally introduce a new currency called Dollars. Now, I was thinking of something different, but I didn't want to use the word dollars, but it's already been used. Like Australia have dollars, America have dollars. Doesn't Canada have those fucking idiots? Canada, I like your people up there, but your government are also full of fucking shit. There's a lot of countries use dollars, so now I'm going to use Dollars. And what you do with McDollars is, if you follow me on Instagram, Mick Thomas Comedy, Facebook, Mick Thomas Comedy, and on TikTok, Mick Thomas Comedy. And a like will get you a McDollar. A follow will get you 2. A share, if you share my content, you will get 3. And you can use these McDollars. So the more content you watch of Mick Thomas Comedy, the more McDollars you get. And so I'm talking to a lot of supermarkets now. They're going to start taking McDollars soon. Stop and Shop and ShopRite have agreed to take them. So when you go in and you want to buy your food, right, instead of paying $87 for a loaf of bread, I'll keep it very cheap. I'll be very, very cheap with it. I will. I'll be fair. People are like, well, how much is it for a loaf of bread? $2 McDollars, please. And if you want to pay them US dollars, you want to pay them McDollars. And that's the way it's going to work. And it's going to start like that. So we're going to take off, and then we'll move on to, I think, Toyota, they will buy cars. They will accept McDollars for cars too. And then pretty soon, I know JP Morgan Chase are going to start. You can get a mortgage through them by using McDollars too. So that's our way out of it, guys. That's what we do. That's how we move forward by McDollars. I know I have been talking to a lot of strippers lately. Only research purposes. That is all. Some would say too many strippers. Some would say, Mick, you have a problem with talking to these strippers. I go, no, they need help too. And 2 of them were prostitutes, and they also take McDollars. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we do have hope at the end of the tunnel, right? We don't have to rely on these fucking politicians anymore. Speaking of these fucking politicians, right? These are the same type of people that. And again, look, I said this before, and I say it again. I understand for those of you who voted for Joe Biden, I understand why you did. But now can you at least jump on board and agree that these fucking clowns, these politicians that just run shit to the ground, can we just agree that this is what they're doing? This is the same man that on a horrible shooting happened in Nashville in that school where 6 people were killed, 3 fucking children, and 2 teachers, 1 security guard, all good people. Once they were killed, the press, the Joe Biden, the president, came downstairs to address the nation before that. And again, please do not think I'm just making this up. Please do not think this is propaganda. Google the living shit out of it. Fact check me on everything. Joe Biden came down, he walked down, he took the microphone, just like a horrible open micer from Long Island, just went, I came down here because I heard there was ice cream. No, I'm not kidding. Chocolate chip ice cream, that's my favorite. And the clowns laughing behind the cameras, all the idiots laughing. This is a man who came down and who totally fucking disrespected such a serious problem of children who were murdered, faculty who were murdered, and he just thought it would be funny to make an ice cream joke seconds before he went ahead and fucking addressed the nation. Now you could go ahead and defend him all you want to. If you're the type of person that gets annoyed by what I'm saying, again, I've no dog in the fight when it comes to politics. If you are upset about what I'm saying, look at yourself. Look at yourself, because what happened was they still doubled down on the LGBTQT community, which again I've no fucking problem. My problem has always been with people forcing beliefs on you, forcing opinions on you, forcing you to follow their bullshit. I always believe in kindness from my heart. I believe in live how you want to live. It's your life, right? It's just your life. I don't judge you. I don't judge you if you go out and you're a fucking bad person. That's between you and God, right? That's not for me to decide what is right, what is wrong. But these communities, what they're doing is now they're going out and they're fucking forcing you. And this is the arguments I've had with my discussion I've had with my son, that you can't teach your kids that. But I mean, you can. You can't walk up to somebody and go, this is an apple. Make sure you call it an orange. If you don't say it's an orange, you now don't have the right to work in this job anymore. You now can be terminated from your job anymore for not following what you believe to be true. What I'm talking about is males and females. I'm talking about the gender thing. I'm talking about the trans. Again, if you're a boy, you're born a boy, and you go, I want to be a woman, fill your boots, mate. Go out and be happy. Just be happy. Treat people with kindness. But do not come for a second and make somebody go, you have to call me that. That's like if I'm a comedian. I'm a good comedian. I'm not brilliant. Not yet. One day I hope to be brilliant. But that's like if I walk into a room and say, you will now refer to me as a brilliant comedian. But you're not, though. You're a good comedian. You're not a brilliant comedian. Not yet. You're not there yet. But I can't force these things upon you. You can't force people. I mean, someone should not lose their employment. Someone should not be cancelled online. Someone should not lose, if you make your money from social media, which luckily I don't, right? If you make your money from social media, you shouldn't be kicked off social media for legit disagreeing with factual science. But this administration seems to be all into it, because what happened was the second after the shootings, the first press conference that was given, not by Biden, but what's the other fucking clown that comes out with fucking Sideshow Bob? You know that one? She comes out like, oh, that's racist to make fun of her hair. It's fucking not. I don't care about the colour of her skin. Her hair reminds me of Sideshow Bob. That's all I'm going to say about that. So she comes down, and what does she say? She opens up with, and fucking fact check me, but you won't be able to. She comes out, our heart goes out to the trans community. They're doubling down so much on this fucking what they think is what's important in the world right now. Our dollar is gone. Everyone's about to fucking World War III. We're on the brink of World War III. Our dollar is worth shit. They're going to force us into a digital currency. What that means with a digital currency, it means you will need permission to spend your money. I'm not kidding. I'm not bullshitting you. I swear, look that up. That's not me being scared. That's me trying to scare you. That's not me. I heard something from a fucking crazy right-winger. Look that up. Once the government takes over for digital currency, you will have to justify what you are spending your money on. Can I go see a comedy show this week, Mr. President? What do you want to do? Well, I'm going to Phoenix, Arizona on July 22nd to get tickets to Mick Thomas. I don't know. I think you already spent money on entertainment this week. You went to see John Wick 4. Open up, people. Open up your fucking heads, right? Stop accepting this shit from our governments. Stop. Now, this might get taken down. This probably won't even see the light of day, this episode, because I said just that one statement, and I don't edit my episodes. We got to stop letting these fuckers tell us what to do. When is enough enough? Right? When is enough enough? So what does our media do? They just bury it. They didn't want to talk about it. They didn't honour the fucking deaths of those people at that school. They just immediately started a debate about gun control because they knew people would fucking argue about it. It gets their ratings up. Get off the media. Get away from them. Never turn on CNN again. Never turn on Fox, NBC. Go online. There's so many fucking places. I'm not going to tell you which ones are good, because then it seems like that's my agenda. Go online, find places, resources, companies. There's great podcasts that will give you legit news. Non-biased media is out there. It exists. You just have to look for it and find it. I promise you'll be much better off. You will go to bed happier because you will have facts. You will not turn on television and find out it won't be just all about Trump who had sex. Is that all you got him? Right? People are expecting you pulled files out and you had aliens information. You sold it to Russia. You sold the nuclear codes to fucking China. People are expecting to find this shit. It didn't. All you got this man on is he fucking paid for a porn star to shut the fuck up about how he fucked her that one time. I'm not condoning it. He's a piece of shit probably. I don't know the man. But that's all they wanted to talk about. They didn't want to fucking talk about the end of fucking everything. The end of the US dollar, they wanted you fucking silent. Don't talk about that. I'm sorry this is a bummer episode and I haven't cracked a joke in a while. Mick Dollars, that's where it's at. That is where it's at. That's all I got to say. Look, I'm going to end going in circles, going in a loop. I'm just going in a loop. Listen, don't worry about politics. Don't worry about what the media is telling you is right or wrong. Live your life with kindness. I swear to God, you'll be happier. Just live it with kindness and forgiveness, and just go about your day, and don't get caught up in this. But just don't be afraid to question shit. Don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong, right? So if you voted for this president, it's okay to be wrong. I've done wrong things too. I've made bad decisions too, but I've owned up to them. Right? I was at a cheesecake factory and someone said you should try the raspberry cheesecake. I go, well, I like the original. Just get the raspberry one. And I got the raspberry one and I hated it. And I regretted it. I was okay saying that out loud. I was okay saying out loud that I should have got the original one that I wanted to get, not the raspberry one. But people pressured me into getting the raspberry one because they thought it was better. We all make mistakes. All right? It's okay to say you voted for someone. You voted for him in good intentions. You thought he was going to be a good guy. He's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot, and it's okay to admit that. That's it. That's all I got to say. And don't put your stock in politicians. Put the stock in yourself, your family, your loved ones, your friends. That's where your energy should go. Not to these fucking vampires, these parasites, these people who pretend to serve you. They're not. They don't give a fuck. Because did you ever see the movie, not The Hangover, Wedding Crashers? I watched that the other day. And in Wedding Crashers, when you watch that movie, there's an uneasy feeling. At least I got it. There's an uneasy feeling about when they're hanging out with Christopher Walken's family. There's an air of up here, right? Of a class of people that I know I'll never be. No matter how much money I end up having, I know I'll never be that class. I'll never be in that class of people. And you watch that, and that's where politicians live. They live in that class. They don't want you in it. And you don't want to be in it either. So why are we listening to them? Don't put that stock in them. Put the stock in your loved ones, yourself, your family, God, if you want to. I do. Right? I'm not telling you to live your life, but don't put it in these people. Don't lose friendships. Don't fucking fight with your neighbor. Don't drive to work to a job you fucking hate and a guy in front of you has ex-politician 2024 whatever, and now you're mad because these guys up here on that level do not care about you in the slightest as an individual. They do not care about you at all. Don't give them your time. Please don't give them your time. Give it to your family. Give it to your friends. That's my episode this week. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But I kind of had to get all that off my chest. Anyway, thanks for liking, listening, subscribing, sharing. I probably lost a bunch of people after all this. I'm looking forward to getting the hate emails. I do get a lot of them lately based on the jokes I'm putting up. But I'll talk about that on another episode. I'll read out a bunch of emails and comments that I got recently from people about my jokes online. Maybe I'll do that next week. I'll just do a whole episode of responding to psychopaths. But anyway, as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.